there, welcome to the locker room. Coach Arias here. Today's message, pack your parachute. Yup, let's do it. Let's grab our parachute, pack your parachute. Here's the relationship to packing your parachute. I was reading a message the other day, a slight paragraph on a veteran of a war, and he was a Navy SEAL veteran. And what happened is he was up in the sky and he was getting ready to jump off his plane or helicopter, and the plane got struck and he had to jump off with his parachute. So he jumped off with his parachute and landed in foreign land. And when he landed in foreign land, he ended up being a prisoner of war, unfortunately. Shout out to all our veterans. I just want to say thank you for all that you do to give us our freedom. Back onto the message. See, he ends up being a prisoner of war for 6 years. So he's a prisoner of war for 6 years, and he escapes or gets released out, and he's at dinner with his spouse. And while he's at dinner, a guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, Joe," we'll call him Joe. "Hey, Joe, man, I know your whole story. You were a prisoner of war for 6 years. It's unbelievable how you survived all of that, and it's so great to have you back." And the guy was just blown away. The Navy SEAL veteran was just blown away that somebody knew his story. And he looked up and he said, "How did you know that? How did you know about all those things that happened to me?" He said, "I was the guy that packed your parachute. I was the guy that packed that parachute for your trip. And when I found out that you landed okay, it was a breath of fresh air, and I felt kind of good. Especially I've been tracking your progress, and I've been kind of right there mentally with you." And they hugged, and the guy stood up and hugged, and he was in tears and said, "It was such an important role. Had you not packed that parachute for me properly, I would not be here having dinner today." How many times do you sit back and think that, my job's not really that important. I'm just kind of going with the motions, or, they can do without me. Or how many parachutes did this guy pack? How many parachutes are packed to where they really aren't a necessity? Nobody ends up even using them. In your daily routine, there's things that you do that may change somebody's life. My staff, who I consider, the people that help me, I consider the best staff in the United States of America, internationally. Those people all play a role in my success, in our business success. Those people sometimes may feel like they're just packing parachutes, but it's just huge for the success and growth of my business. My best friend and best man in my wedding, Marcus Smith, when I was a young man coming out of college, he placed a phone call to me about my resume that he saw online and did my interview and talked to me over the phone. What's funny and unique about that is he was in one of the highest executive positions that you could hold with the company, typically doesn't even get involved in that type of a recruiting process, but he was packing parachutes that day. And what if for that day he was going through the motions and didn't pack that parachute or didn't pick up that phone call? His life and my life may not have been changed. We may not be in the positions that we are today if he wasn't taking that role so seriously. So I want to encourage you today and this week, throughout this week, to focus on every small task. Success is in the details, and everybody play your role, because there is no I in team. We need everybody in order to win. Gang, that's my message. Focus on packing those parachutes. Looking forward to seeing you next week in the locker room. Make it a great day.